Hey everyone, I have here a game from round 1 of the 2018 European Club Cup competition held in Greece. So in this game, Mamedyarov is playing against international master Tapani from Finland. Mamedyarov representing Odlar Yurdu, the team named after a university from Baku, Azerbaijan. And Tapani is representing SK Komians. So Mamedyarov with the white pieces opens with d4. Knight f6 from Tapani, c4, e6, knight c3, and we have bishop b4, the Nimzo Indian defense. Queen to c2 from Mamedyarov, so this gives more protection to the knight, and also the queen controls the e4 square from black's knight. c5 from Tapani, we have d takes c5, and black is in no hurry to capture this pawn. Here he castles. a3 from Mamedyarov, bishop takes c5, knight f3, b6, black prepares to develop his light square bishop. Bishop to f4, controlling the e5 square and also preparing to bring this rook over to the d file. Bishop b7, we have rook d1, knight to c6, e3, preparing to develop the light square bishop, and knight to h5 from Tapani. Mamedyarov drops the bishop back, bishop g3. Here bishop g5 is a little bit risky because white is a bit underdeveloped and he hasn't castled yet. So black can play f6 and actually expand on the king side. After bishop h4, g5, bishop g3, f5. And black is starting to gain some initiative. So we have bishop g3 from Mamedyarov, bishop e7 from Tapani. So dropping the bishop back because b4 is going to come anyway. Bishop e2 from Mamedyarov, knight takes g3, h takes g3, so this now opens up the h file, and also white is threatening mate on h7, therefore h6 from black, and we have g4. White would love to go g5 at some point. Rook c8 from black, knight b5 from Mamedyarov, threatening to bring the knight to d6, but this is actually okay for black, he can allow this. After a6, knight d6, bishop takes d6, rook takes d6. It seems that black has a weakness on d7, but for the moment white cannot take advantage of this because the king is not castled yet, so there is no immediate rook coming to d1. And black should be okay here. He has to move knight to a5, going after some counterplay, threatening knight takes c4. For example, if white castles, then you can play knight takes c4 after bishop takes c4, bishop d5, and here with moves like b5 and queen to c7 coming, black should be okay. So after knight a5, for example, if b3, black is still fine here. He can simply play bishop takes f3, and then go queen to e7, kicking this rook back. So if rook takes b6, you simply take on a3, and again, if rook takes a6, you give a check. And then you just simplify everything off. And here, this position is totally fine for for black, sorry. But after knight b5, here Tapani plays f5, which in the long run could weaken these pawns on d7 and e6. Here, one idea for white is to simply take on f5, and then play rook h3. Trying to get in rook to g3. But Mamedyarov here plays knight f to d4, so immediately putting pressure on f5. We have knight takes d4, knight takes d4, and here b5 from Tapani. So what's the idea behind the move b5? Well, black wants to create room for his queen to come to a5 because the immediate threat for white was to play knight takes e6. Here this is impossible because after queen to a5 with check, black is going to take the knight on the next move, so this doesn't work. So here Mamedyarov plays g takes f5. And here black should have played queen to a5 check. After something like king to f1, then e5. But Tapani sort of messes up the move order here. After b5, g takes f5. Here he plays b takes c4, allowing white to go f takes e6. Tapani gives check, but king to f1 here is possible, but Mamedyarov plays queen c3, which gives him a safe advantage. So with the queens off the board, there is not much risk in the position. So here, after d takes e6, because Tapani didn't give check with the queen earlier, and allowing pawn takes e6, now the knight can come into e6 with an attack on this rook. And after rook f6, Mamedyarov has a very nice tactic, knight takes g7. So the point is, after king takes g7, rook to d7 with a double attack on both bishops. So here black plays bishop takes a3, we have knight to h5, rook to d6, and rook to h4 from Mamedyarov. So now Mamedyarov tries to place his pieces on optimal squares to start an attack against black's king, which is quite exposed in this position. Rook takes d1 from Tapani, king takes d1, king to f8, knight g3, so preparing to reroute to f5. We have bishop takes g2, rook takes h6, rook to c7, and here rook to h5. So Mamedyarov is waiting to see what black does. Bishop d6 from Tapani, so trying to trade off the bishop for the knight. Therefore f4 from Mamedyarov, bishop c5, attacking the pawn on e3, and knight to f5, bringing the knight closer to black's king and also defending the e3 point. Bishop b6, we have king to d2, giving more protection to e3. Here, if rook d7, white can always play knight d4. And you don't want to take the knight because then after c takes d4, this is just absolutely great for white. Having 3 connected passers. This is absolutely winning. Also, this pawn on c4 is rather weak. So here bishop d5 from Tapani. We have rook to h8 check, king f7, rook to d8, attacking this bishop, rook to c5, and rook d6, so cutting off the king from the 6th rank. Rook a5 from Tapani. This unfortunately was the final error for black, which cost him the game. Instead of rook a5, bishop to e6 was probably a bit better because this controls the d7 square and also cuts off the rook's influence across the 6th rank. And black, well, black is still worse in this position, but he can hold on a bit longer with bishop e6. After rook a5, we have bishop h5 from Mamedyarov with check, king f8, e4. Very nice move from Mamedyarov, so trying to take away the bishop's control of this diagonal after bishop takes e4, rook f6 check, king g8, bishop f7 check, and here after king f8, Mamedyarov actually had mate in 5 with bishop g6, king g8, knight e7, king h8, rook f8, king g7, rook f7, and then rook h7 is checkmate. But instead, after king f8, Mamedyarov saw a win as well with bishop takes c4, and after king e8, knight d6 check wins a piece. And it was in this position that Tapani resigned the game. So in the first round, most of the stronger players faced opponents which were significantly lower rated than themselves. So hopefully in the upcoming rounds we will be able to see more closely contested matchups. Well, at least on paper. So that is all for this video. Hope you enjoyed the game. Do subscribe for more future content. Thank you for watching and have a great day.